Robin.
Jerry Springer entering the studio. Jerry Springer entering the studio. Hey. Jerry!
Don't get up.
Look how spry Jerry is. He goes, don't get up.
Good morning, Jerry.
How are you, sir?
Jerry must be doing some TV today.
God damn, you look good, sir.
I know.
Thank you. I got to give it back at 9.
Looking all
You're not aging
vibrant.
anymore, huh?
Pardon?
You're not aging anymore.
No.
You look younger and younger.
Oh, he's looking.
You do look very slender.
Really? I'm wearing bigger suits.
Oh, is that how that works? That
Honestly,
does
you
work.
buy a bigger suit, everyone says,
Does that work
you're
well?
losing weight.
You got a full head of hair, though, Jerry.
I've always had a full, I think.
You're not losing any of
I
it.
think.
No, that's true. Well, at this age, if you haven't lost your hair by now, you don't.
Yeah, you're probably
True.
good.
67.
Yeah.
You're 67.
Yeah.
Fuck. What
I'll
are you
be
doing
68 if I behave.
right? Nice. You know who else is 60? Oh, De Niro's 68 today.
68.
Today.
God, is he old? It's his birthday, and Elvis yesterday.
Well, yeah, that was a good one.
We were saying-
Elvis's birthday.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, obviously people, but to just keep saying the same over and over, it's his birthday, it's his birthday. Does no one brief her?
It was. I know.
That's what we said. Her people didn't realize this was,
Yeah.
there was a mistake there about to happen.
She
Didn't hear what
sounded
Michelle
like
Barton-
an
No, I did not.
idiot.
Can we play it in front of you, Jerry, and then we'll get into,
I won't
baggage and all that?
Yes, I won't.
I heard about it, but I didn't hear the clip. The clip.
Oh,
Because you like talking politics.
painful.
I love talking about. Please play.
Is that your
it. I
guy?
gotta
Is he
hear
going to beat
this.
us up?
No.
Yes.
Who is that guy?
I don't know.
Where?
Behind you, Jerry.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking.
Is that
at
your security
I'm
guy?
saying that's Chuck Dodd.
How long have you
Yeah.
been hanging out with John McCain?
Yeah, he's,
He looks like McCain.
That guy
I
looks-
said that.
Is he mad at us?
that is.
No, he looks like that.
You all
Yeah,
right? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
All right, thumbs.
Yeah.
Oh, look, our guy's coming now, though.
Yeah.
There it is.
You guys are in trouble now.
Is he mad at us?
Not at all.
Why would he
He's
be?
a lovely man.
That guy's intense,
good
Jerry. Kenny, who's that guy?
Which one?
He's
That's Jerry's guy.
He's with Virginia. Who does my publicity there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Well,
Here's the
okay,
Michelle
here you go.
Bachman clip. That
Yes.
This is unbelievable.
Before we get started, let's all say happy birthday to Elvis Presley today.
Really?
Happy birthday! We played you a little bit of Promised Land when we pulled up, but you can't do better than Elvis Presley. And we thought we'd celebrate his birthday
She
as we
said it
get
again.
started the Celebrating Take Our Country Back tour.
These politicians
boy.
can't talk off script ever.
No, it's just. Yeah. First of all, can you imagine having to listen to that voice?
That-
for
no.
4 years?
I thought
and
Hillary
that's-
was bad
it's
with
okay.
that-
It's
that
obviously
voice.
not a major issue in terms of who should be president, but just on the side note, listening to that for 4 years would
Yeah,
be just.
that's-
It's the anniversary of his death, not his birthday. Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yes,
Can't
yes,
lose.
yes.
I think
he
it's
was born on January 8th, 1935, Tupelo, Mississippi.
I
There
think it's a
you go.
major issue. I
Yeah.
think if you're going to be the president of the
You
United
gotta
States,
know
you can't
Elvis,
fuck
yeah.
up things like that.
Yeah, but what it is it's phoniness. That's what
Yes.
it says. It doesn't matter. The fact situation is that obviously this is not significant to her because otherwise she would know.
She would
so
know.
don't talk about things that.
Right.
You know.
So she pulls up full of this
Like
means
she's
so
gonna
much to me. Look, I'm
Yeah.
playing the music. We got to celebrate Elvis.
It's
Meanwhile,
like
obviously
she's
she
totally
doesn't.
insincere.
Yeah, she doesn't mean it.
She thinks we're all stupid. Like
Right.
if she mentions that, we're going to really like her because she understands us.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's the audio version of Mike Dukakis in the helmet in the tank?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, but she's not going to
between
get
that-
that far. I mean, she may
No.
be a lovely lady. I'm not here beating her up. I'm just saying there's no way she gets
The
the
Republicans
nomination.
know she cannot get the nomination.
Unless Democrats keep contributing to her to have her as the opponent.
yeah.
What bothers me is the media takes this very seriously, like she's an actual candidate. It's like, why don't you just
Come
call,
on, it's
just
a
call her
straw
out,
poll.
please?
Yes.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's why, though? Like her and Palin, because they know that they're really not electable. So the media probably pushes them because you kind of want shitty candidates if you don't want the Republicans to win. And neither one of those, I think, are great candidates.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to get the nomination.
No. What do you think of Perry stepping in there and?
He can't talk either, man.
Well, yeah, but he could be the candidate.
He could be.
Yeah, I think right now it's between him and Romney.
Yeah.
So he could be the candidate because other than what he might say from time to time, the fact is He's the governor of Texas, so he brings political clout with him.
Right.
So, that has nothing to do with whether he'd be a good president, what his competence is. But he is a viable candidate from day one, which is why, just by announcing, he's all of a sudden near the top of the polls.
The polls are really favoring him now.
How conservative is he compared to Romney?
Oh, he's more conservative than Romney.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Well, Romney's not conservative. He's got to play conservative now because he's trying to get the Republican nomination. But it's his health care bill in Massachusetts, which has become what they now call Obamacare, and he's trying to distance himself from that,
Romney
which is
care.
absurd. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And why he's running from it is crazy, because the fact is, Massachusetts is the one state where they have almost universal health insurance. I mean, that's amazing. Virtually everybody in Massachusetts has health insurance because of that. Why is that a bad thing? Why aren't we celebrating it? And Massachusetts has much less unemployment than Texas.
Then why did Ted leave Massachusetts to have his brain cancer treated? Just wondering if it's such good health care.
Oh boy. Oh God. Oh my God.
Where did that come from?
I'm just because I don't agree with universal health care.
But I mean, why Ted though?
Well, first of all, they had their own private insurance, so they didn't need that.
That's always good.
Well,
Isn't that great when Congress can just do whatever they want and talk about how great it is for the people that they come up with this stuff?
Well,
but then their set of rules are totally different. I love that part.
I don't mind that as long as they make sure everyone else has health insurance. See, that's what was great about Kennedy. They could afford everything, but they recognized that millions and millions of Americans cannot afford health insurance. And, lower income people or middle income people love their children as much as rich people do. So they ought to be able to get health insurance as well. And so I think it's wonderful that everyone has health insurance. I mean, why? If you love America, how can you not love the idea that everyone should be able to take care of their family?
Ideologically, it sounds great. Financially, it's a boondoggle. It's a disaster because the government has never been able to run a program and have it work and be profitable and not have so much
be profitable. Social Security.
I don't mean
your grandparents
profitable.
or parents don't like Social Security. My gosh, Social Security is run by the government, and since 1933, it's been a saving grace for millions and millions of people.
Right.
Government
Let me give you
things that are
let me
okay.
give you 20 things that didn't work and don't work financially that the government is in charge of. The government's never been trusted with our money because year after year
government.
they show. No, unfortunately, we're not. We're not a good representation of the government. Does not represent the people anymore.
I agree. Your politicians don't necessarily represent the people, but frankly, I don't mind having a national defense. I don't mind having government make sure that when we go to restaurants, the food is clean.
Sure.
I don't mind government coming when there's a fire at my home.
When should they then
the
step
police...
out of your ass, though, and
I want government to provide services that people can't provide for themselves. That's what government should do. I don't know why we've suddenly hate everything that, for example, this is what you hear politicians now saying. Everybody's saying it. Government doesn't create jobs. Okay? Let me tell you something. Every single penny that the government spends is to employ somebody. Mm-hmm. So when you say you want jobs and government doesn't provide jobs, every penny that the government spend is employing someone. It may be someone in the defense industry. It may be a police officer. It may be a teacher. But every single penny is to employ people. So why don't we get off this notion that the government doesn't provide jobs? You know what? If you did away with all the jobs that a tax dollar is paying, you would have millions and millions and millions of more people not employed. It's crazy.
When do you think, Jerry raised a good point too about how we think that everything in the government is bad, and I've been wondering this, when did everything with government become negative in the pub? Because we trust nobody. I mean, was it the Kennedy assassination, or what happened where everybody in the government is seen as untrustworthy.
Oh, Watergate didn't help. But
I'm sure that was a big
It's a
part of it.
confluence
Vietnam.
of behavior as well as the rise of the media and the fact that it's 24/7. And the fact is we now know more things about people than we ever did before. So it's not just government. All institutions are now less credible because we realize that all these heroes that we've set up were set up in an age where you really didn't see the blemishes. There was no one to report on them. Right. So everyone loved the president. Everyone loved their priest. Everybody loved the head of the corporation. Oh, he's a good man. He's the head of the company and all that. But nowadays, you know everything about everybody.
Their dirty little secrets.
So therefore, everyone looks as if they have clay feet, which is the truth.
See,
we all are mortal.
We're disappointed that we realize that they really are just as awful as we are. And it's kind of a letdown when we realize that the individuals that we kind of idolize.
You were ahead of your time there, Jerry. You were ahead of your time.
Well, I certainly had that in mind. I wanted to show what clay feet really were like. Follow me.
What does that mean, clay feet? I've never heard that.
It's just, the whole,
it's like
put them up on a
Cassius Clay or
pedestal,
something?
statue, and then they just topple over because
they can't really move.
they can't live up to your
Never heard that.
Hey, Jerry, who's your guy in this whole race?
Well, I like Obama. He doesn't
For a second term?
Oh, yeah. Now, he hasn't done everything I've wanted.
That's going to rip his hair out.
No.
Yeah. He hasn't done everything I want. He's not liberal enough for me. And I realize I'm not the mainstream. I'm far more liberal than most Americans. I get that. So then when I get upset with him, it's because I wanted him to push harder on a stimulus. There is no excuse why we don't have everyone working in America. I mean, you could put every construction person back to work tomorrow if you just said, let's fix all the roads, all the school buildings, all the hospitals, everything.
He's been preaching that for a while.
But he doesn't have the votes. And so the question is, in the end, you can't, when you have a Congress that is not of his party and even some Democrats don't go along with him, he can't get the votes. We don't have a dictator here.
What happened before the election? He had votes. He got the votes.
No,
before
well, when he first came in, the very first 2 years, I agree. The stimulus, because the Congress wouldn't, including Democrats, many Democrats, would not go along with a big enough stimulus bill. The stimulus was passed, but it was too small. It didn't employ enough people.
It isn't only that, Jerry. What I've noticed, and it's a great idea, and it sounds very American to put everybody to work fixing the infrastructure of this country.
We did it after the Depression.
Of course. But after the Depression, I don't think there were 8,000 earmarks and bullshit pork barrel crap connected to these bills where you can't read it and go, that's a wonderful idea. Let me turn the page. There's an awful idea connected to it. Why don't they I hate the idea that they can't just have one subject, it's voted on, it's passed, and do that, and now let's move on to something else. Instead of trying to shove in some of these, which I don't like, some of these social programs are atrocious, just money pits. And yes, rebuild the infrastructure of the U.S., put people back to work. Love that idea. Who wouldn't love that idea?
Well, apparently a lot of people in government don't like
But
the idea.
I don't think they like the idea because of what was attached to it. You can't get up there and tell the American people you're not for putting people to work, fixing our infrastructure,
well, here's what
using
happens.
the tax dollars to improve your country.
So your local congressperson says, I won't vote for this bill unless part of the bill is to fix this road in my neighborhood or to build this hospital in my district, whatever. Mm-hmm. So everyone says there's a price. Each of these Congress people say there's a price for my vote. And that's why the bills get bloated.
Right. Yep.
But that's in the Constitution in terms of you elect a congressperson. The congressperson wants to get reelected because he or she runs every 2 years. And in order to get reelected, you have to show that you did something for your district. Otherwise, someone will challenge you in the primary and you'll get defeated because the other person running says, if you vote for me, I'll make sure these potholes are fixed. I'll make sure this school gets the extra program it needs or whatever. That's the function of democratic politics. It's sloppy, it's fat, it's ugly, etc. But we can't let those things get in the way with the fact that everyone in America needs a job. If you want to have a capitalist system, which we all do, you only have three choices. There are only three ways that people can make money to support their families. They either have a job, they're either on welfare, or they steal. There's no other way to get money. You either get paid for doing something, you're on a government welfare, or you steal. We don't want people to steal. Everyone complains about welfare, then you better make sure everyone has a job. And if this idea that the tax cuts are going to make more people get hired, well, wait a second. We've had these Bush tax cuts for the last 8 years. So then how come unemployment keeps going higher and higher and higher?
Well,
you can't claim it's on big taxes because the taxes are lower.
Imagine how horrid it would be without them. We'd have more unemployment. That's what I say.
We'd hire these people. I'm saying hire them.
Yes.
I am saying hire the people to fix the roads, to build the buildings, to do the infrastructure. You've got 1 million construction workers you could hire right away to start fixing everything we complain about. So why don't we do it? Because right now everyone prays upon the altar of no new taxes. Not for middle class, for people like me. How you
homosexuals?
We almost yes.
I think
why in the world did you stop? We almost didn't raise the debt ceiling. In other words, we almost had America not be able to pay its obligations simply because the Republicans refused to vote for a tax increase for people that are in the top 2% income level.
Because they have told their constituency they were not going to vote for a tax increase. They didn't. So their crime is not lying to their constituency. Wow, what a bunch of assholes.
No, they should have told the truth that this country can't make it unless wealthier people pay a little bit more.
Here's the deal.
It's okay if we pay a little bit more.
You make good money there, Jerry.
Yes.
You hire people around your private life. You're a corporation.
I'm not a corporation. I'm not a corporation. Okay.
I hire people. When my taxes go up, I will absolutely hire less people
that is
to
so
do my
untrue.
work.
See,
it is not
no,
so
wait,
untrue.
Here's what happens. You give these major corporations, what is this? General Electric is sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars in cash. Every business in America does everything it can to hire as few people as possible, as low a wage as possible, that they'll still take the job. Every business has to show a profit. The way you show a profit is by cutting expenses. And you cut expenses either by getting a machine to take the place of a person, get the person to agree to work for less wage, or to send the jobs overseas where you can hire people for less. The whole incentive of our system is to employ as few people as possible. That's what the discrepancy in what we're all talking about here.
I don't think the whole goal is to employ as few people as possible.
You think the company who you work with is Sirius? You think Sirius
is
going
happening here, Ed.
No,
Yes.
but
they're not cutting people here. What are you crazy?
The goal
no
is to
raises.
make money. The goal is to make money.
Right, but that means employing less people, and so regular people suffer.
Until it gets to the point where you can make more money by hiring more people and not have unions shaking you.
They're taking the profit to hire more people. They're taking the profit so you get a bigger return on the people that are investing in stocks or whatever. That's what they're doing. They want to show a bigger profit.
I try to tell
That's
him
why
that, and he
Wall
doesn't believe me.
Street
So if
is
you
going
want
to-
Jimmy, I'm going to smack you.
Let's get the head of Sirius on the phone now and saying if he's willing to go or she is willing to go and hire
He
more
doesn't know
people
who we
right
are.
now.
You'd be like, who? Opie and what?
Yeah, he makes a good point by pushing, in our face with the Sirius XM thing. No one has had raises around here, and they have cut a shitload of people.
Of course,
They've trimmed
every business does. The company that owns me
But
cuts
what-
people. Everybody's
But Jerry,
cutting
what's the
people.
solution?
Why do we think
It looks like there's no real solution to this whole thing, though.
there is?
What is your solution, sir?
My solution is, first of all, people that are very well, that the people in the very top ought to be willing to pay more in taxes. We then use revenue bonds to build things in America that need building. So you put all those people back to work. Now that the people are working, they pay taxes. So the revenue bonds are paid for by people that are now working and paying taxes. That is how we have done it over time.
So why don't you agree with the entire country paying taxes, a nice flat tax? Everyone, if someone makes one friggin' dollar, they got to pay 17 cents on it.
The reason is, I'll give you an answer.
Okay.
The reason is because the first $25,000 you make is for survival. That is money that you use to buy food, to pay your rent, to pay the electric bill, etc. So if, for example, if you say a flat tax, let's say 10%, everyone pays 10%. That sounds fair. It isn't fair. I'll tell you why. Because 10% of a person that makes $25,000 is $2,500. That $2,500 is very important money to the person that's only making $25,000 because they need that in order to be able to eat. Then you go to someone who makes $20 million, 10% is $2 million. Sounds like a lot of money, but that person is left with $18 million. So that person has no sacrifice at all. Nothing in that person's life is changed. And so that's what's not fair. The burden has to be equal. There's nothing fair about...
Jerry, it says the pursuit of happiness. There's no guarantee in this country that says that you're absolutely going to be taken care of. You're given an opportunity, and I think people are
you think we have equal opportunity? We all have it. Do you think that someone born in the inner city in a single family, the one parent that exists isn't working?
You mean Obama that became the president?
Okay, you take Obama versus the millions of people that live in poverty. You're saying that for example, take me, that I started out the same way that person did.
Maybe not in your time, and I'm not making a joke, but things have changed drastically over the past few years. If you think
someone born into a wealthy family is facing, assuming the health is the same, is facing this, has the same hurdles that someone that is born in abject poverty.
No, you're going one extreme in the other.
But there are millions of people in poverty, or millions of people that aren't born into wealthy families, that are struggling, that even get a college education and can't find a job. These people have it tough.
In a capitalistic society, there's always going to be the very poor and very rich, but the middle ground is where the bulk of our people are,
and they can't afford to send their kids to college anymore. By the way, I hope everyone watches baggage.
Yes. Speaking of things you carry to college, bags.
Baggage is on GSN.
We
it's
really
on GSN every day. It's on GSN every day at 7:30 in the evening.
But what is baggage?
Yeah, what is
first dates?
Baggage. I'll tell you.
Re-explain baggage for the people that haven't
baggage
seen it yet.
It's on every night at 7:30.
By the way,
GSN, and it's a dating show. And let's say a guy comes on, and there are three beautiful women, and he has to choose one of the three women that he's going to go out with, and like most dating shows, and they all say, well, choose me, I'm wonderful, etc. But during the course of the show, they have to reveal 3 items of baggage, small, medium, and large. Some item in their life or their personality which would make you think twice about going out with them. And then they slowly eliminate until finally the guy chooses the one girl, the one woman, and they're hugging, and the audience is cheering. This is wonderful. But before the show ends, now she gets to see what's in his big bag. And when he opens his bag, sometimes that's too much baggage for her, so she'll say, thank you very much for choosing me, but I'm not going out.
Mommy issues.
Yeah, she dumps him.
Something.
But once in a while, they say, I can handle your baggage. Then they go on a first date. This other show called First Date, which we're now thinking about doing, and it's going to, we shot a pilot of it. We will follow them on their first date, because now you may have chosen this woman because, oh, wow, she is hot. I'm going to really like her.
Right.
And then you go out on the first date and you say, oh, my God, what was I thinking? So at the end of the first date, then they decide again, do I want to continue dating this person, or is it thanks but no thanks?
Now, let me back you up a second. What's some of the baggage you've learned on this show? Any doozies?
It's something from, for example, I mean, it's real life stuff. For example, it's... the baggage might be, I still have lunch with my ex every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if you were attracted to, let's say you're single, you're attracted to a young woman, you want to go out with her, and you start dating in school, but you notice once every 2 weeks she's going out with her ex. With that kind of, I don't want to deal with that. Or an extreme one was, we had a woman having to choose among 3 guys, good-looking guys, and this woman was hot. So she finally picks the one guy. He is just salivating. This is great. They're hugging all that. Now he gets to see what's in her bag. She opens her bag. Well, it turns out she was born a man.
Wow.
And
Can you
What's her
tell,
baggage?
Jerry?
Too many hormones? Not fully functional?
you would think because of my regular show, I'd be able to
That's
tell.
why I'm asking.
Right.
I could not tell.
The
She was
mistakes happen, right? I mean, we all make the mistakes.
She was.
Jimmy.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, you know, Jerry.
Yeah.
Jimmy would be perfect on your show, sir.
Yeah. Like
The
he had-
bags would open and he'd be like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
this?
I'd have to pretend I didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
oh, gee,
boy.
you're a guy. Oh, boy.
like he hasn't been on.
As
But,
Jimmy pulls out 3 steamer trunks of baggage.
Jimmy might be fond of trannies. We're not sure, but
Wow.
sounds like a good show, though.
He's hinted enough that I think he might have had some experience.
No, that sounds good. I like
a very good show.
I like a good surprise on a show like that. That is good.
Yeah.
And I think every girl has more than just a tiny. Here's a little baggage for you. I think after a while you realize they all have.
When
just
she said
giant-
she was born a man, were you able to tell at that point?
then you really start looking.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, was she
if you
post-op?
look close
Yeah,
enough,
wow.
then you start thinking in your mind, well, yeah, I could see that could be. Most people, if you change, forget the obvious, but if they're dressed and you change, you could talk yourself into, well, for example, a guy putting on a wig, something, well, wouldn't be a very good looking girl, but I could see, if they have no beard
Yes.
and they're young.
yes.
You've got 25 minutes to get your hands off me.
You want Jimmy on your other show there, Jerry
It's
Springer?
making me nervous here. Can I change seats?
Are you still enjoying the other show?
Yes.
Yeah, are you really?
Yeah, it's
been a
21
long
we're-
fucking
we're-
time. 21 years.
21 years now.
21 years, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's fun
amazing.
to do. We shoot 3 shows on Monday, 2 on Tuesday.
And you're still doing the crazy schedule. You fly to L.A. for a few days
For baggage,
to do baggage,
and then
come
back
back
here
to
to do-
Stanford.
yeah.
And you're doing this weekly.
Yeah, well,
More or less.
I just finished 130 shows of baggage, so I have a break now.
Damn.
30?
Jerry's an animal.
Yeah, well, it's
I know, you really
130.
is. An animal.
We've done
And I follow the work
300,
ethic.
but it's 130 a season. The first
Wow.
season was a short one because we were just trying out the show. But we've shot
great.
300 shows.
And it's
yeah.
doing well, obviously.
Yeah, thank God.
I have a question for Jerry, which is off the subject. It's political, but I want your opinion on it because I think I enjoy listening to you talk about this stuff. Why was Jimmy Carter's presidency seen as such a disaster? I know it's totally off the subject. He is Democrat of Congress. Why was his presidency seen as such a disaster? Or do you think?
Because that was really the beginning of things seeming out of control. Because you remember during his presidency, the 50 hostages were taken in Iran. There was also the oil embargo. Now, in fairness, neither of those, the Arab oil embargo at the time, neither of those world events had anything to do with who the president was. But somehow we couldn't get the hostages back without having them killed. So it's easy to debate it, but when you've got 50 people there and they're Americans and they're being held, and you don't really want to, he tried at one
The
point
rescue
and the
debacle,
helicopters,
yeah.
So it seemed like everything was going bad, and then because he wasn't liberal enough to a certain wing of the party, Ted Kennedy ran against him in the primaries, and so and did, even though Carter beat him, he did reasonably well and enough that Carter was damaged goods. He had the hostages, which remember weren't released until Inauguration Day.
Yeah, when
as soon as Reagan was sworn in, within 5 minutes they released it to
That's
make
about
a
the Shah,
political
though.
statement.
Wasn't that more about the Shah? Because we gave the Shah sanction here. That was kind of the hate of the Shah around.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was about the Shah, but I think him coming over here to have the cancer treatments, I'm not sure if that came afterwards. But anyway, yes, it clearly was that we backed the Shah. There was a revolution. Ayatollah Khomeini hated America. And so that's when all of that really became a major issue. So Carter was the victim of circumstance to begin with, but he was damaged goods within the party itself. And then remember, he barely lost to Ford. So it wasn't like, it was a landslide. And the next election, Reagan won in a landslide against Mondale. So it's
Do you think
viewed
Reagan
as
was a good
America,
president or no?
I think Reagan was a good president. He was too conservative for me, but I think he was a good president, yeah.
Did he?
Not a great one, but a good one.
My friend and I, a guy who's coming in after you leave, a comedian, we had a big screaming match because he was saying Reagan didn't care about poor people at all. The AIDS argument, I didn't...
Get ready, Ant.
but Keith was saying,
I
he's saying
think I'll be
Reagan didn't give
okay.
a shit about poor people.
Well, that gets too personal. In other words, I don't think these people go home and say, oh, I don't care about if poor people die or starve to death. So it's not that.
It's funny.
And actually says it on the radio.
Jesus.
But I do think there is a political point of view. You know, there's a reason why most wealthy people are Republican. There's a reason. And it's not because they're bad people, but because wealthy people can mostly afford things, at least in their own mind, by themselves. They don't need the public school. They can afford a private school. They don't need the public health clinic because they can afford their own doctors. They don't need the public schools because they afford the private schools, as I said. They can afford their own homes, their own transportation, their own recreation. So therefore, since they don't see themselves as getting a lot from the government, they then start having lack of sensitivity. Why should I pay taxes? I don't use any of those services. Without looking at the bigger picture, that the reason we have a wonderful country is, and they have their wonderful lives is because we have a wonderful country where everyone before them pitched in.
Do you realize, though, there's a lot of people that have money, I'll include myself in this, that pay a lot of taxes and don't want to pay more taxes? I feel I'm doing my part, and then to be told that I'm not patriotic, I'm not doing enough, when every quarter I am writing unbelievable checks. I pay for a school system, which I understand. I want to live in a nice neighborhood. It's going to cost me, but I write that check and I pay a lot of taxes. And then to be told that I'm not doing enough really is kind of a slap in the face. And I haven't always had money, Jerry, believe it or not.
Yeah.
To look at me, you'd think, I've been rich my whole
He's
life.
blue blood.
But,
Boy, you and me,
let me tell you. So to achieve something in life, in this country, and then to be told you're not doing enough makes people very resentful. I'm not talking about the faceless corporation that is not paying any taxes, getting refunds after billions of dollars of revenue. I'm just saying the guy that is making $250,000, even more than that would fall into that category, gets very resentful being told he's not doing enough when every day you're being told to do more and do more. That's okay. Where I get.
And my answer is first of all, I don't know that every day they're being told do more.
Oh, I see.
Here's what I'm saying. It's interesting. This discussion never came up when we invaded Iraq. This discussion never came up when we went into Afghanistan. It is amazing. You never talk about money when we start to fight a war. You never, when 9/11, horrible. There wasn't one of us here in America that said, how much is it going to cost to go and get the Taliban, to go and get Osama bin Laden?
Exactly.
No one asked a penny. And yet, here's the reality. Let's say 1/100th of 1%, not 100th, 1/1,000,000th of 1% of all Americans will ultimately meet their end by happening to be in a building that gets hit by a plane. 1/1,000,000th of 1% of us will leave this planet because of that horrible event. 99.9% of us will leave this planet because of a disease or an accident. So we know in the end that disease or accident is what is going to kill us and our loved ones. We know that's the enemy. And yet, we get so resentful if we are going to spend money to make sure that all Americans are in a position to at least fight off disease. If you love America, you wouldn't worry if someone that you don't even know gets killed in a building that gets hit by a plane. You are fine to spend that money. Thank you for being a good humanitarian and doing that. I think we should. But I want that same feeling when someone's dying of cancer, when someone's dying of diabetes. Why are we all of a sudden said, Obamacare, like a snooty kind of thing? You know what? If I am so privileged to live in America and to make a lot of money here in America. If I got to pay a little bit more, you know what? I don't want to live anyplace else. This is the best country in the world. And if my dues get to be a little bit higher, am I going to now starve? Do I now have to sell my house? Do I have to get rid of my child? I mean, there's business of whining. I'm not saying that people that are making $30,000 a year, $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 need to spend more. But when people are making millions of dollars a year, do you know I don't pay any more? I don't pay any more in the payroll tax than a person who makes $100,000 a year. I make, let's say, several million. Okay, so I make millions, and I don't pay 1 penny more in the payroll tax than someone who earns $100,000 a year. You think that's fair? There's nothing fair about that.
There's also nothing fair about the other side, too. There's certain things in our tax laws that are not fair, I think, both ways. And again, I just don't like the fact that 50% of the country isn't paying taxes. I don't like the fact that the top 10% pay 90% of the 99% of the taxes. But I do like your point. He does make a great point on
just
that.
have that moment.
No, he made it.
That was an amazing moment right there.
He made a great point.
That was an amazing moment.
Liberal shit.
Does Jerry have to wait? Does Jerry have to leave? When they say like,
absolutely.
they're panicking.
All I was hearing was patriotic music as Jerry was
very
very
He didn't make a good. He made
and then you had to blow up his spot. You had to blow up his spot.
Point. I didn't blow up his spot. He did a great job.
And you think you'd be happier? You're allowed to get married now, Anthony.
Jerry's leaving, but Jerry
has left the building.
I do want to say this.
You guys are the best.
You got
Jerry,
the phones lit.
Yeah.
With the things you're saying, a bunch agreeing and of course some disagreeing as well. But there was a lady that squeezed through. Her name's Tess. We don't have time because you really do have to go. But it's helping your show. Loves Baggage. Everyone needs to watch.
That's the important
and that's the reason Jerry Springer is here.
Sending some of my tax dollars to Tess.
So what's the big plug? Baggage First Dates this Sunday at 8 p.m. on GSN, right?
Yes.
That's it?
That's it, man.
That's it?
Very cool.
Love Jerry Springer.
Jerry,
Love
Jerry.
Jerry.
Have you written a political book yet?
No.
I'd read that.
It'd be interesting to hear you do
I
a political
I
show.
would read that.
It'd be fun to listen to.
I'd love to. You think Sirius would hire me?
Oh, please.
They'll let you do it. They won't pay you.
They're not hiring.
They won't pay you.
They don't pay shit around here, Jerry. Write
I
that book.
volunteer.
Jerry Springer, everyone.
Great.
My name is William and I like to wear dresses.
R. Yeah. E. Goodness gracious. T. Yeah. A. R. D. Retard. Yeah. Woo. B. Retarded. B. Retarded. B. Retarded. B. Retarded. Stomp your hands and clap your feet. Retardation can't be beat. You know we retarded. T-A-R-D. T-A-R-D. Retard. Yeah. Woo.
My name is William and I like to wear dresses.
Who? Robin?